going to go at the tone. And they're off. Nice, clean start. Chris Lawson leading them around. Followed by Gene Canal and David Preston. There goes Chris Lawson down the front straightaway. Here comes Gene. Here comes David Preston. David trying to get around Gene for that number 2 spot. Chris is in that number 29 car, that black and white car. Gene's in that black and red numberless car. David Preston, the all blue car. Looking the inside of Gene. Tries to go to the inside, coming in down 1 and 2. Paul shot right there as well. Preston takes over that number 2 spot, makes a mistake in the 2. Paul shot gets back for that 2nd spot. The 3rd spot, he's right behind Gene. Here comes David Preston. That's a battle. 10-man was right up there. 10-man makes a bit of a mistake.
Look at that, man.
Man, Paul, we got a battle here for that number 2 spot. Chris Lawson likes to see this. So we go down the front straightaway. We got Gene, Paul Schaub, David Preston. They're battling out 1, 2, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Chris Lawson about a straightaway ahead. They're trying to run down Chris. Meanwhile, they got a heck of a battle going on. Paul Schaub looks to the inside of Gene. Takes that lead. That 2nd spot coming out of 2. Gene wants it right back. Paul Schaub trying to get up there and run down David Preston, Chris Lawson. David Preston now trying to run down Gene. Paul Schaub can't get away, makes a bit of a mistake coming out of 4. That's going to close up the gap between Gene and Paul. Chris Lawson trying to run a nice clean lap.
Oh, Schaub's there.
There's Schaub right behind Chris Lawson now. Chris Lawson had to slow down for a back marker. That allows Paul Schaub to close the gap. He's only about 2 feet back right now. Chris Lawson makes a bit of a mistake coming out of 4. Here comes Paul Schaub. Here comes Gene. Here comes David Preston. Preston goes by Gene for that number 3 spot. Now Gene in that 4th spot. David Preston trying to run down Paul. Gene takes back over that spot away from David Preston. Paul Schaub in that number 2 spot. He's about 2 feet back trying to run down David Preston. David Preston come out on the back of some lap traffic. They give him plenty of room. Great job. David Preston in that 4th spot. We got Chris Lawson out there in that number 1 spot. Kind of stretch it out a little bit over Paul Schaub. There you go on the 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Here comes Paul Schaub trying to run him down. Gene Canal and then David Preston. Chris Lawson's trying to get around Austin Harrison.
Craig.
Austin Craig, sorry. Was it Austin? Austin Craig lets him go. Great job by Austin. Here comes Paul Schaub trying to run down Chris Lawson. Chris is stretching out just a little bit now. He's got the groove going.
Look at 3rd and 4th, man.
We got 1:19 left to go. Here comes David Preston. Look at Gene. Gene makes a bit of a mistake coming out of 4. That allows David Preston to take over that number 3 spot. David now trying to put some pressure on Paul. Paul clips the back coming out of 4. David Preston closes the gap. Meanwhile, Chris Lawson's not pulling away. They're right there. They're only about a half straightaway back, battling with lap traffic. That's Gene gets in with Austin.
Schaub is catching Lawson.
David Preston and Lawson. Lawson out there in the number 1 spot.
1st and 2nd.
Close the gap.
1,
Right only about 3 feet separates the 2 cars. Paul Schaub's right there. We got 42 seconds left to go.
1.
Lawson's trying to stay nice and smooth. Here comes Paul Schaub. David Preston falling back. It looks like it's a battle between Chris Lawson and Paul Schaub. Down the front straightaway they go. Chris Lawson still in that number 1 spot. Here comes Paul Schaub closing the gap. He's about 4 feet back. We got about 22 seconds left to go. Chris Lawson trying to stay nice and clean. Paul trying to throw all kinds of pressure on him. Trying to pressure him into a mistake. There he goes down the front straightaway, stretching around just a little bit. They're coming up on some lap traffic.
Here comes Preston.
We only got about 6 seconds left to go. I don't know if Paul's going to be able to catch him. Here comes Chris Lawson. This might be the last lap. Here goes Paul Schaub. That's the unofficial clock. Here they go. When you cross the line, you're done. Chris Lawson's going to take the win, followed by Paul Schaub. And David Preston was right there for that 2nd spot. Holy cow, great race by Chris Lawson, followed by Paul Schaub and David Preston. Gene takes that 4th spot. Mark in the 5th spot. Austin 6th, and 10-man in that 7th spot. Great race.
Hey, Scotty, too much center stock, man. Too much center stock.
Chris Lawson 58.403. Paul Schaub 58.403. David Preston 58.404. Top 3 cars separated by less than a second.
Barely got it, man.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
That's great, man.
Take care of the equipment.
Racing with Schaub again. Feels like old times, huh? Preston and Gene had a good race, man. That was awesome, man.
I almost took Preston out. That was my bad.
He had 100 chances he could have. What's up, Schaub? Almost, man. What'd you need, man? About a 10th?
10th, yeah, I need a 10th.
Hey Matt, that car looks pretty good, man.